Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about selecting the best apartment in the complex. Hey guys, so one of the biggest questions or the biggest concerns I think I get when I tell people I do Feng Shui and I say, hey, you should, look into Feng Shui. If they live in an apartment, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, I just live in a trailer or I just live in an apartment. It's, I don't really have the space to Feng Shui or whatever. So let me tell you, Feng Shui just has nothing to do with the amount of space you have. It's really about how you're using the space and what type of energy is coming in. So I say it all the time, but Feng Shui is actually just the ability to collect and receive and even, distribute the energy flow or the chi flow. So it actually has nothing to do with space. You can live in a tiny home and have the best Feng Shui. It really doesn't matter, okay? So let's look at some stuff that you can look for when you're actually shopping for an apartment. Remember, it has really not a lot to do with what's inside for the moment, okay? So just for right now, you can select a unit just by looking at what you can see in your external environment. So let's go back a little bit and let me help you choose a new apartment unit.
Make sure to support the channel. You hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the little alert icon so you can be alerted when new videos come out.
All right, guys, so you're shopping for an apartment, you're looking around, and you're like, I don't even need to Feng Shui because I just have an apartment. Again, not true. So what are some things you can look for when you're looking for a unit? All units are actually not the same. You can have, a giant complex, and you can just say, well, they can put me whatever unit they want, right? Whatever's open. But if you have a choice, I would highly suggest that you select a unit based on these type of features. Are you ready? You're looking out the door. You want to make sure you just see a clear open space. It doesn't even matter if there's, some apartments have like a little alcove and they have a door here and a door here. That's perfectly fine. If you have a nice little area here like this, a nice little area right in front of your front door of your apartment, that means you're able to collect and receive that chi flow. That's the first thing. So let's just look at whether you're able to even receive chi flow. And this starts by looking at the front door and what is called the Ming Tong. The Ming Tong is what is referred to as a bright hall in classical Feng Shui. And a bright hall can look like a bunch of different things. It can look like a lovely courtyard. It can look like, maybe you look out of your apartment and you have a view of the pool. The pool is right outside your apartment. This is really lucky. So you want to select a unit that is overlooking a spacious area. So if you have the capability, if you have the say-so, look first at what is in front of the front door and see if it's like a nice unobstructed view, hopefully like a courtyard, maybe a community garden, or even the community pool. So that's the first thing you can look for. The second thing you can look for, if you look and you're like, well, there's not a lot of space in the front door. Maybe it's blocked, but this is like my only apartment building I can really afford, right? We all have our limitations, right? So another thing you can do is to look at the balcony. So does the apartment have a balcony or like a back door? It's like a nice, a cute little patio area. It doesn't have to be a large balcony, but the balcony can be a secondary source of energy. So you can actually, receive an energy that way. So even if your front door is limited, maybe you're in a narrow hallway or you're in close proximity to your neighbors, you feel like there's not a lot of flow there in your front door. A secondary source is that balcony. So look for a balcony and use this area as much as you can, and that will help get that energy flow in. Or it's not about looking at what we don't have. It's about looking at what we actually have and what we can work with. So again, we're all limited, and so capacity, and no house has perfect Feng Shui, and just looking for the areas we can enhance in from a Feng Shui perspective, or where that energy flow can actually come from, is actually very beneficial, rather than looking at like, oh, this apartment's crap and I'm stuck with it. But do you have a balcony? If you do, use that balcony often. We went to my sister-in-law's apartment a couple weeks ago, and she has this real cute little unit, and what I noticed about her apartment right away she's a smoker, so she was outside in the little balconies smoking, and it's just a little patio area that's covered. It's not particularly nothing notable about it. But what I did notice is that she actually faces. There's like a little walking path and like a little place for people to take their dogs and stuff like that to do their business. And she said nobody really even, walks over there. It's this beautiful open grassy area that her patio faces. So if your patio faces one of these areas, even if it's not, like a grassy area, but if it faces a, open parking lot, or if it faces a, again, the pool, or a nice little gardeny landscaped area, your balcony is having, it's getting a good flow of chi. So again, sit out there, put a little seating area out there, and put some little plants in to kind of encourage that chi flow to stay. When you're selecting a unit, make sure that you're not seeing negative external features outside of your space. So for example, you look straight out the door, and you see a flyover on the highway. And I know I've put this in my videos before, but this really amazed me. So at eye level, you have this flyover. This is what's called a cutting blade shaw. And this cutting blade shaw, it actually has like this negative energy. I mean, the cars are just going around this flyover, and the energy is directed straight at this front door, this unit. So try to make sure you avoid seeing things like this from your front door directly. If you have a choice, make sure you pick the unit that is not in close proximity to 5G towers, radio towers, water towers, things like that. So you always want to make sure you get an unobstructed view from your door. If you want it to be more detailed and you really wanted to select a premium location in your apartment building, this is actually something that the energies can be mapped out using, and you may have heard the system of flying stars. So each one for each unit is different, and of course the way they receive energy is different also. So you don't have to really worry about this, but if it is something that you feel like I really need the very best location, it is something, of course it's a service I offer, but it is something that has to be like mapped out and done by a Feng Shui practitioner who practices that system. So it can actually get very detailed, and you can select a very good location for yourself if you're able to then map out those energies and select the best one. Some of it just has to do with really just looking at some of the different units that might be available and kind of choosing one or requesting one that you feel has the best flow to it. So again, it all starts with our external environment. Our Feng Shui is actually made up of about, like 70% of it or so is actually comes from that external environment and the ability, again, to kind of collect that energy outside of and then bring it in. So, we want to make sure that we're selecting the best unit with the best flow. So it really starts with selecting the best one before you even move in. That way you don't have to fix stuff that, you might be feeling later on after you move and you're not really liking your unit. So again, just follow these few little tips. Look at what your balcony sees and look at what your front door sees, and make sure to try to select those units with the most open space within proximity to the balcony and the front door. If you have any questions, just comment below. I would totally be happy to offer any insight. Of course, it is a service I offer. It's location selection. So if you have any questions like that, you can comment here. And if you want any more details, head to my website at fengshui.candice.com, and I have a variety of services. Of course, I offer also including a link to my PayPal down below because I need new equipment. So, and it's not free, unfortunately. So, to my new equipment. Again, website also has a couple classes, Flying Stars and Shwenkong Dagua, as well as the Yijing hexagrams. So that's really a fun class that I did, and I really enjoyed that one. So if you are so interested, go check out my website and make sure you like and comment and subscribe, notifications, all that good stuff. If you think the content has been valuable to you, make sure you give me a little feedback, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.